Welcome everybody. Let's take a look at the market. First thing we're gonna do is switch over to the Dow Jones Transportation. Take a look at that for the daily here. Yeah, I've been running up like a mad dog here, just going crazy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days in a row, pretty much going up. One little red day, but yep, a lot of upper wicks going on here. But yep, marching to a nice bullish trend going on there. Very, very nice. Some of you may be wondering, what is this down here? This is a universe indicator. Wow. Amazing. Yeah. Look at this. What's going on there? Is this just tracking the market? Is this indicator just tracking the... Did I just create an indicator and all it does is just track the market? No, I did not. Look at this one, little rise. This time it came down like that, went like this. Look at this forecast of this little run up. Big dip, says, oh, we're going up. It goes up. Pretty amazing stuff. Pretty amazing stuff. Let's go back over here. Yeah. Okay, so anyway, we'll talk about that. Maybe coming up today, we'll talk about what is this thing doing? What is in here in the Dow Jones Transportation? It looks like it's actually right on it or a day behind. That's probably not very useful, but we'll talk about this indicator. All right, Dow Jones Transportation, like I said, looking very bullish here. July 30th has come and gone. So much for a cycle low there. Probably this was the cycle low, just came early, right? On the 24th, so 6 days early. That can happen. Next one's out there is September 12th. Like I said yesterday, I will make an adjustment to this cycle if necessary. You know, there's possible that there's a cycle like right here. It's just not being looked at. You know, it could be one like that. But just quick eyeball on this. It doesn't look like it's making any sense to me going back, but we'll keep an eye on this to see if this becomes a new cycle low point or it just came early. All right, so that's Dow Jones Transportation. We do want to keep track of that index because Dow Jones Transportation is the oldest index, by the way, in the United States of America. One of the oldest indexes in the world. Excuse me while I eat some pineapple here. Very rude. Right during the middle of the video. But yeah, one of the oldest indexes in the world, the Dow Jones Transportation. So we want to keep an eye on that because a lot of times it forecasts what's to come. Okay, Russell 2000 hit all-time new highs today. I'm pretty sure 2,300, if not all-time new highs, close to it. Let's see, let's go back. Probably. Let's look at the weekly chart, right? Let me get a different time frame here. Let's do not daily. Daily, no. Here we go, weeks, I guess. Yeah, weeks. Max, hit it. Okay, so all-time new highs was way over here, 24.58. So we're not anywhere near that quite yet. We're at 22.54, about 200 points away, but we're definitely a high for, let's see, where is January? Right here. So yep, a high for this year for sure. Yeah. Where's 2023? Okay, here's 2023, a high in the last 2 years. Well, 2022. What was a high here? The high was 2288, so we're not there. But there's more to go still. So it looks like to me in the last 3 years from 2022, 23 and 24, that here in the year 2024 we are going to eclipse the high for the last 3 years. It's probably going to happen here pretty soon. There's just some more to go here. So Russell 2000 a little bit on a rampage, doing its thing, marching right along. I'm not sure it's going to get up to this all-time high this year. It might. We'll see what happens. But at some point, I expect the small stocks, to probably have a rotation. The money's going to move out of the Russell 2000 at some point. Maybe it's sustained and keeps going for a while, but I suspect, I don't think I have a weekly chart here, no. I suspect at some point it's going to give it up once it gets up into this area up here, probably. All right. So anyway, for right now, Russell 2000, Dow Jones Transportation looking very strong. If you're trading transportation ETFs or something like that, then you want to be looking at the Dow Jones Transportation, because guess what? They're basically tracking that. Okay. All right. Let's look at the, you know what? We can look at the futures for the NASDAQ. I don't normally look at this, but we'll look at it just real quick. I don't have any cycles on this because S&P 500 and this are almost identical, but big pullback going on here. Let me get to the daily chart. Daily chart, big pullback, except for today. Huge monster day. Look at this range, 786, monster day. Yep. I would say that the low may be in for the NASDAQ. It's possible. I'm not 100% sure that's true, but it looks like it may be in. And that we're going to go up here for a little bit through August. And then I expect there probably to be a drop in the market as we get into autumn. So let me we're going to go over to the S&P 500 futures now. Okay, this one I track very closely. Daily chart. The daily fart chart. Yeah, this was the cycle low back here, July 11th. Look at that. It was exactly right on July 11th too. Wow, that is an amazing cycle low. Basically no cycle low at all. Now we've come down right smack dab in the middle of this cycle. Lots of chop. Pretty good, robust day here. 137, so massive up day. I told members last night today was going to be up day, that's what the forecast was. Well, why would I say that? Because this thing over here has gone ballistic. What the heck is a universe indicator? We're going to talk about that. So here on the S&P 500, I mean, this kind of forecasted that the S&P 500 was going to come up, right? To the last, look at this. It started happening back here on July 26th and July 27th and the 28th, or so, I'm sorry, July 26th, we jumped over the weekend to 29th and the 30th. That was just chopping along, but the universe indicator was going up like crazy, shooting to the moon, or should we say the sun. So anyways, I think, shmeh, could be some more chop, a little down, whatever, but it looks like to me the cycle low is probably in right here for this middle of this cycle. So I think we're going to see a little up and then start coming down here somewhere, like maybe really like late August. Yeah. This might happen really late. So we may have to adjust this cycle, but for right now, it still looks like it's okay to me. Since this is happening in the middle of this cycle, I'm kind of okay with it. Okay, we'll keep a close eye on this cycle to see if it needs to be adjusted, but for right now, I'm still okay with this. All right. So SMI is starting to curl up. The MACD, you know, could it continue to go down? Maybe. Maybe. But the universe indicator, what is it? Well, this basically tracks solar flux. That's right. You heard it here first. This tracks the sun. And you'd be surprised how the market follows the sun. Okay. And basically this forecasted that the market would go up, and sure enough it did. It's taken off. Okay. Look back here. It said, oh, we're going to get it up and a down. Well, look at that, up and a down. A little bit late. And it forecasted up. A little dip right here. Sure enough, the dip happened right there. Bing, bang. And then we had divergence going on. This will happen. There's big old divergence going on. This is going this way, and this is going this way. And then, so there's this whole divergence going on for this whole time, which I've seen this many times before. So from about May 6th, right, through like June 17th, we'll say, like about 5 weeks here, maybe a little more, there's a divergence between solar flux and the stock market. I mean, this little dip right here did happen. You can see it. But overall, this was going down while the market was basically going up. Then look, they get right back into sync. Look at this. Boom, it starts to come down just a little bit. This comes down a little bit. This set forecast is going to go up. This goes up. See that? If forecast there's going to be a dip, there's a dip. Forecasting going up, it goes up. Now, okay, so how do you really know? Well, let me tell you something. It is an art form to synchronize solar flux with the market. It is definitely cyclical. And I know there's going to be people out there that say, you're nuts, just, to forget about the market does its own thing, it doesn't follow the sun. Well, it follows the sun sometimes. And it does it often enough to where it's, let me just tell you this right now. It does it often enough to where I can make money using it. So I don't really care, right? The real key to tracking solar flux with the market is to know when there's inversion going on, like we had here. That's the greatest challenge, right? Is when we have inversion. When they're in sync, oh my gosh, it's a piece of cake, right? Because the solar flux will always be it's usually a day or two ahead of the market. That's the beauty of it. It literally forecasts the market. Okay, like it's doing right now. That from this point on, all the way over here for like the last month, more than a month, looks like about 6 weeks, 5-6 weeks, the market's been tracking solar flux. Okay, within like a day or two after the solar flux happens. So that's great. Okay, I use that in conjunction with and other indicators, momentum, SMI, candlestick patterns, you name it, cycles. What's interesting is that these cycles really, these cycle analysis, you know what it really comes from? It comes from the sun. We talk about money flowing in and out of the market. A lot of times these cycles will follow the patterns of the sun. Yeah, I know it's crazy, but it's there. But anyways, I'm not saying it follows it verbatim, but a lot of times they're have an interesting synchronicity going on. All right. Knowing how to accurately read the solar flux and how it affects the market or markets, that's the big challenge, right? I've been doing this for over 2 years now, maybe 3 years. And you'll be amazed how many times that this has been accurate. So anyways, to me, guys and gals, for some people it's going to sound far-fetched, but I don't really care what people really think. I know that I've traded and made money on this. And I tell you how I view this. This is just another tool in the toolbox to help forecast markets. I mean, cycle analysis is forecasting markets. What do you think this over here is? It's forecasting a cycle low. Okay, and we adjust if necessary. Okay, but this, based on what I'm seeing here, this might run really late and only have a small dip. Okay, and the next one could be well here, or this cycle gets adjusted. It doesn't really matter. The point is, we use all the tools in the toolbox to help us make trades. We go with what works and we get rid of what doesn't work. I've been looking at solar flux and markets for over 2 years, and I can tell you it works often enough to where I'm not going to get rid of it. So, if you want to become a member, think about my members right now. I have quite a few members. They're paying $7.99 a month. Okay, that is super cheap. Because we're going to see here in a minute, as we look at the trades of the day, I could almost guarantee there was hundreds, if not thousands of dollars were made today in the S&P 500 futures. Okay, we're going to look at that here in a second. But I wanted to show this. I don't talk about this indicator that often. It goes in an email on the daily chart to the members every night. They get this exact chart right here. And they get the universe indicator. Some people look at this. There's some smart people out there, right? They're looking at this. And they're saying, holy smolies, man, this thing really does forecast the market. And they're doing their own analysis, right? They're looking at this and they're doing their own analysis, which is great. Go for it. I don't care. I'm making money. I'm not worried about it. Okay, if you want to track the sun, track the sun. You want to track, this is solar flux, strictly, it's more than just solar flux. Okay, if we really want to get deep into this subject, the sun is impacted by other influences outside of our solar system, which I'm not going to dive into that right now, because that is a very budding, or we're in the infancy stage of understanding influences from outside our solar system. But that's coming. We're understand that better and better. And the sun is definitely part of a network. I guess the best way I can put it. The sun is part of electrical network. And those that are in the know are going to continue to push the boundaries. So this is just, the sun influences a lot of things, guys and gals, not just the stock markets and futures markets and all that. Talking about that for a second here, before you get into the trades of the day, ranchers and particularly farmers, but both ranchers and farmers, they've known for centuries. This has been going on for many generations. They're well aware of the importance of the sun. They know if they have a hot year, how it impacts crops, how it's going to impact their cattle or their goats or their sheep, whether or not there's going to be enough green grass, grazing available for their livestock. So they're very aware. They follow the sun. Like, they're very interested in forecasts of the weather, including solar cycles. Right, like the solar cycle wind right now is stronger than the so-called experts thought it was going to be. A lot stronger. And they want to know that because it helps them forecast. And they also, some farmers and ranchers, the big corporate ones, they'll delve into futures, cattle futures, corn futures, soybean futures, you name it. They are using futures to hedge, right? So they don't find themselves in a bad spot. In other words, futures for those type of commodities are not just speculation. They're using it as a hedge. That's where futures and commodities originally came from, really, is they were for hedging purposes. Today, a lot of people are using it to speculate, but there are a whole group of people and corporations and entities that still use it for hedging. So getting back to the sun and tracking the sun is a huge part of those industries and staying healthy and staying ahead of the game. They want to know what the solar cycles are doing, the strength of the sun, the weather, so on and so forth. I'm telling you, they do that. The smartest minds in the world are keeping track of the sun, okay? And like I said, I've been doing this for 2 or 3 years now, and I can tell you there are times where the synchronicity with the sun in the market is absolutely astounding. And right now, I know for a fact, because I look at the data every day, this is just data, guys and gals, that's being displayed here as a graph, right? But there's numbers behind this, obviously. You can see the numbers, right? I have my own unique way of using the numbers, but it doesn't really matter. The point is, it's consistent. And I know that right now, for the last few weeks, last month and a half, that the solar flux is a little bit ahead of the market. Now, it's not true for every market. Like you noticed the Dow Jones Transportation, it was actually a day behind. So you really have to know your stuff. All right, so anyways, that's part of the membership. I don't necessarily just say, here's some solar flux data, you figure it out. Because most people don't want to be bothered with this kind of stuff. It's like most people are too busy and they don't really want to dive into it. So I do it for them. But that's part of the membership. Okay, part of my forecast every day includes the solar flux coming from the sun. All right. In addition to traditional, God, it's interesting calling this traditional already. But in addition to cycle analysis, right? What you're seeing here, these arcs are cycle analysis, and they're very helpful. Look at this over here. Bam, bam. There's one over here. You can't see it, but bam. And we noticed that this cycle low was just one little red candlestick. That is extremely informational. Okay, it helps us understand that this is probably one big cycle of what's going on here. Maybe it's like this. Okay. All right, so let's go to the trades of the day now that I've rattled on here about this universe indicator and how it benefits members. Okay, it benefits me too, my own trading. Okay, let's look at the intraday charts. Where were the trades of the day? All right, this is a 5-minute chart, and futures opened up last night over here, and they ran all the way over to here. Right now, futures has already closed for the day. Okay, so this is just, basically a 23-hour time span being shown in 5-minute segments, right? 5-minute chart. Now, some of you may be asking, well, why don't you show the solar flux or universe indicator on the 5-minute and other charts like the intraday charts? Because solar flux isn't read like that. Solar flux isn't changing every 5 minutes to the point to where it's useful for trading on really small charts, right? Humanity doesn't read solar flux every few minutes to the point that data coming into where we could graph it. There are instrumentation that can pick it up, but basically solar flux is read 3 times a day. Okay, that's how it really works. So it doesn't really work on really small time frames. Though instrumentation is picking it up, but there's some complicated algorithms and some smoothing and the error correction that I won't get into it, that has to be done when you're dealing with solar flux, because you can get a lot of crazy spikes. There's other influences going on there that has to be dealt with. So on really small time frames, for the moment, for now, where we're at, it's not useful. That could change in the future, but for now, we don't read it every few minutes. We read it 3 times a day. Okay. All right, so let's talk about where the trades of the day were on the 5-minute chart, because there's one big, huge trade that stands out here. First of all, starting last night, this thing was just on a rampage. Look at this. All through the night, I was watching this thing. And you know that because look at this. Look at this. The whole night was positive momentum. I mean, what a ripper. From 54.60 all the way up to 55.60. 100 points overnight. Shoo. Okay, so if you even had any inclination at all to trade futures, you should have been already doing it a long time ago. Let's talk about this trade right here. 12:40 this afternoon. This was the butter right here. You see the plum candlestick right there. You see the Giddus Plus indicator saying, take a trade. It goes up and it just blasts off. Blast off. So we'll say getting rid of the lower area here. We'll just start with the block, 55.50, all the way up to 55.80. If that's all you did, 30 points for the day. That is $1,500. That's supposed to be a 3. Supposed to be a 3. Because 30 points for one contract, you guys know the drill. Is always what I do is turn this, just add the zeros. So 30, you just add 2 zeros to make it 3,000. Okay. And then we just divide that by 2. Okay. Divide by 2, you get 1,500, right? 1,500. What is that? That's $1,500 for one E-mini contract. That's what that is, a one-timer. 1x. Okay? That's it. That's how simple that is. That's a whole lot of money for one day. $1,500. If that's all you traded was the one Giddus Plus indicator, you made $1,500 if you're paying attention. If you're trading micro, which I've said this many times before, for really small retail accounts, you want to trade a micro, fine, trade a micro, MES. It's the same thing as that. MES, you just put a decimal right here. Boom, $150. So for your small retail account guys and gals, there you go, $150 for the day. Okay? That's the trade of the day. That's monster. If you weren't paying attention overnight because you're getting your Z's, you still had a big opportunity here right smack dab in the middle of the day. Okay, this chart is part of the membership. They get this 5-minute chart. This happens in real time. Streaming charts. They get a 15-minute chart and they get a 1-hour chart as well. The 1-hour chart has cycles on it, just like you saw in the daily chart. Very helpful. Also, I stream gold. So for those who want the gold streaming charts, you can get those. Just ask. Just ask on the Discord server when you join. Hey, where's the streaming charts for gold? I'll give you the link, okay? If you want to know how to join, the description, there's a link in the description of this video. Okay, also the top comment will have the instructions in the link, the Discord link to join. Just click on the link, you join. $7.99, okay? There's a nightly email that goes out every night, Monday through Thursday. You get 5 charts, sorry. You get the daily chart of the S&P 500, the weekly chart of the S&P 500 futures, and then you get 3, let me show you what you get, 3 directional charts. These charts are extremely powerful. You get 2-hour, let's go over to the SPX. You get one for the NASDAQ too. You turn on the directional indicator. This is my own directional indicator I created. Okay, look at this. It's really simple stuff. When it's red, you're going short. When it's green, you're going long, right? That's it. Right now, it's been telling us go short. Okay, it may change here real soon and start going long. It's not like you're just going to ignore, things like this and momentum coming up. You could still use these other indicators, of course, but this keeps you in the trade directionally, right? It helps swing traders especially. So if you don't want to do intraday trading, you want to do swing trades, this chart's for you, the 2-hour chart. This goes in the email every night, Monday through Thursday. You get the one for the SPX, you get one for the NASDAQ, and you get one for the Russell 2000. So there's those 3 2-hour charts with the directional indicator. Very powerful. Okay, very powerful. All right. I mean, the amount of money made here is crazy. Look at this big gap down, boom, boom, boom. Okay. Now for to avoid these big gap ups and get out, you want to be looking at the daily chart with this daily cycles and listen to the videos every day. I got members, they don't listen to the video because they're too busy. They're too busy in life, but they won't watch the video. I have members that actually ask me questions that are covered in this video every day. It just shows me they don't watch the videos. They don't watch the daily videos. You're paying for it, but they won't watch the videos. They're too busy. I'm like, I'll give them the answer, but you're a dollar short a day late because you don't take the time to watch the videos. What can I tell you? If you watch the videos, you're going to get information. You don't have to ask me on the Discord server. All right, so that gets included in the emails. 5 different charts. Plus, I always give my opinion about what the market's going to do in that email every night. Okay. There's premium symbols on the Discord server. You get those. That's part of the membership and only for members. All right. There's fixed income in there. Sometimes I buy bonds. When I do, I'll put them on there and show you what bonds I'm buying. Okay. This video is every day goes on the Discord server. You can just click on the link in the Discord server and watch the video. It'll take you to the video. Okay. Extreme value, guys and gals, for $7.99 a month. Extreme value. Okay. All right. That pretty much covers it. I hope everybody had an awesome trading day. There's so much opportunity. I think we're going to see some bullish activity in the indices probably coming up here. If it hasn't already started, it's going to start real soon. All right. God bless everybody. Talk to you all real soon again next time.